Hello, happy birthday to the late July Leos, the Leos that will kick off Leo season at the end of the month. We're going to see what messages are coming up here for love and romance for Leo Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. You may stumble upon this video after July. That is fine. You're going to find it whenever you're meant to hear the messages that are in it. Keep in mind it's a general reading for the collective. Not every single message is going to resonate. Take what does, leave what doesn't. And sometimes your moon sign or your rising sign or your Venus may resonate more than your sun sign. So we're going to connect and see what messages are coming up here for the Leo collective around love and romance. I feel like we need one more good shuffle here. All right, let's get right on into it, my dears. See what messages are coming up. I'm going to move you just a little bit closer. Let's get right on into it. So the first card that's coming up here for the collective is the Two of Wands. Now, the Two of Wands can come up in a couple of different ways. Unfortunately, I'm going to pause here and try to get this glare out of the way. One second. All right, took care of that glare. So what I was going to say was, is unfortunately, I've seen the Two of Wands get typecast as a card in a lot of other readings on YouTube. That Two of Wands comes up and they're like, oh, third party, somebody's cheating. And sometimes that could be the case, but the Two of Wands is about choices, decisions, options, and partnerships. So this can also be a card that comes up to tell us that we need to think about something before we proceed. That doesn't mean that it's not going to be a good idea or it's going to fail. Some of you have heard me talk about the Two of Wands as expectation versus reality. So Leo, some of you may need to really communicate effectively here about a relationship and exactly what you want and what that looks like for you and what that means for you. So, for example, you may say that you want to take something slow, but your idea of taking it slow might be different than somebody else's idea of taking it slow. Or, you want commitment. Your idea of commitment and someone else's idea of commitment might be different. So it's a good idea to define the words, get into the specifics. Two of Wands can also do, as I said, with partnerships. So some of you may be coming into partnerships, okay? And you may be looking at this relationship as, hey, look, I've got some goals. I've got some things I'm working on. So it's really important to me that we're on the same page and we're working together towards these goals. So you may be getting specific about planning and expectations. This may not only be a relationship, it could also be a business partnership, right? Some of you are looking for someone that's gonna step up and be supportive around some dreams, goals, aspirations that you might be working on right now. Okay, so this could be choices or partnerships, as well as deciding how you want to proceed and working out the details, being very specific of what that's going to look like and how you all are going to be moving forward. Your next card here is the Knight of Pentacles, and this could be earth sign energy, sun, moon, rising, or Venus. So earth sign energy would be Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. If you have earth sign placements, you may be meeting somebody significant through those areas of your life or through those houses of your life. But the Knight of Pentacles is about commitment. Okay, it's about commitment, and it can also be a card about taking things slow. The Knight of Pentacles is not the fastest moving knight in the tarot, but he definitely is the most reliable, the most consistent, the most dependable, the most thorough. And so Knight of Pentacles could indicate that some of you are looking for commitment and stability. Some of you single Leos may find that your type is changing. Your type is changing. Maybe once what you thought was boring, you're like, that's That's really doing it for me. You might find that the things that are getting your attention, or the things that you're finding yourself gravitating towards, are things that maybe before you saw to be boring. Well, congratulations. That just means that you're healing and coming out of the frantic, dramatic, toxic attractions, and you're coming into being attracted to things that are stable and healthy and good for you. In a committed relationship, the Knight of Pentacles could indicate that some of you are, especially coming in with the Two of Wands, in a committed relationship, this could mean that some of you are really recommitting, or really making a decision to stick together, and move past an issue or a problem. You may be recommitting to the relationship. Like, okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna stick together. We're gonna overcome these issues or these challenges. So there could be like a new resolve in the relationship, and a time of like coming closer, feeling closer to each other. Your next card here, Leo, is the Hermit. Now, the Hermit is a major arcana card. So for me in my readings, when the major arcana cards come up, there is a significant connection here. This is a soulmate connection. This is someone with whom you have had many past lives before, and you all made an agreement that you were going to meet in this lifetime for a specific reason. Now, a lot of the times we might see Hermit and we might think that this is a time of being single, being alone, being by ourselves. Some of you may be coming out of this kind of a phase. You may have been in that aspect of the Hermit card for a long time, and this may be the time that you're coming out of it or emerging from it, or you may be meeting somebody who's coming out of a Hermit phase, and this could be another reason of like taking it slow. However, for me, in my readings, one of the things I've realized, I've seen a pattern, and a lot of the times the Hermit card comes up in my love readings to say that this is a relationship that is holding up a light to you. It's holding up a mirror. So there could be a lot of parallels between you and this other person. And you all may have had very, very similar experiences in your life. And you may have very, very similar insecurities, or like ways that you got hurt, or, past wounds. You may have a lot in common. And so, and you may have also a lot of the same positive qualities as well, right? It's not always going to be pain and things that we deem to be negative. It can also be very positive things. But this person is holding up a mirror to you. And this person is showing you who you are, where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, where you might have some wounds that need to be tended to, that need to be healed. This person is really, really showing you your full self, and you are doing the same to this other person. I feel, Leo, that this is a very evolved relationship. I feel like I'm reading for two very evolved people, two people who've really been doing their work, working on their healing, people who are very connected spiritually, people who have a lot of soul. So I feel like this is a high vibrational couple that I'm reading for. And so I feel like both of you are going to be realizing this mirror aspect, and both of you are going to be realizing, oh, wow, okay, this connection is really motivating me or inspiring me to really dig down deep here, to really dig down deep here within myself, and get to some hidden crevices, some hidden little layers here that are starting to emerge. And this may be another reason for that slower moving energy. Like, you may realize, wow, these emotions are intense, these feelings are heavy. And some of you, I have to say, I feel that because of the mirror aspect, it's like the passion is increasing. Like, You're even more drawn to this person. You're even more attracted to this person, and vice versa. But there's this energy here of like not wanting to burn too quickly and then burn out. There's this energy here of, okay, pace yourself, don't lose your head, don't get lost in it, don't get crazy. And I feel like this is a mutual thing. I feel like this is a mutual thing. And so I feel like both of you are kind of trying to pace the relationship and go a little bit slower. But I do feel, as I said, that both of you are very awake, very much doing your work, very self aware, and are like coming onto this path together, embracing this path together. I do feel that for some of you, and this is coming in intuitively, I do feel that for some of you, there are a lot of mutual people in common, that like you all didn't know each other, but you're discovering that you knew a lot of the same people and you hung out at a lot of the same places, but you all didn't meet and didn't connect until recently. And the reason for that is because this is the portion of the path that you all are meant to walk together. I feel like had you had met sooner, you could have potentially destroyed one another when you were in the lower vibrations. But now it's like you're coming together and you're building each other up. It feels like a very positive connection to me. Obviously, this is a general reading, right? And so it's different for different people, but overall, this feels like a very positive connection to me. Being that we have the hermit here as well, some of you could be dealing with a Virgo. Okay, for some of you, this person is a Virgo or has a Virgo placement, sun, moon, rising, or Venus. If you have a Virgo placement, there could be big changes and big shifts happening for you in those houses or in those areas of your life that are aligning you with this very, very significant soulmate, with this significant relationship. The next card that's coming up here for you all is the Devil. And this could be Capricorn energy. If you have a Capricorn placement, there could be big changes or big shifts happening for you in those areas of your life or in those houses. Some of you could be meeting a Capricorn or aligning with a Capricorn. Now we have major arcana cards coming in back to back. So for me in my readings, when major arcana cards come in back to back, it tells me big changes in a short period of time. Some of you may be choosing between two very, very significant soulmates. You may be feeling very pulled to two different people, and you're having to choose or decide between these two different people. Perhaps maybe two different earth signs for some of you. But the Devil can also be a card having to do with insecurities and fears. It can also be a card having to do with karmic relationships and lust. But the feeling and the vibe that I'm getting from the Devil card in this sense is the feeling of negative ego. I feel like some of you have done so much work and have come so far, and this is a connection that is healthy, that's helping you to accomplish great things. And as I've said in previous readings, the negative ego hates change, despises change. So what is this negative ego going to do? This negative ego is going to come in really hard. So, excuse me, I had to pause there for a moment. As I was saying, when we're making big changes, first and foremost, the negative ego hates change, despises change. Even when the change is a good thing, it just hates change. So the closer we are to a massive shift and a massive breakthrough, the louder and the meaner the negative ego becomes. So it just wants to convince us to stop and give up and to not allow this change to happen. And so a lot of you have really come into a game changer moment here in your life, right? You're coming into a really healthy relationship, a really healthy partnership, overcoming challenges and obstacles, working together, building, creating, and the negative ego hates it. The negative ego is freaking out. So the more panicked and worried the negative ego is about the changes that are coming, the meaner and the louder it becomes. So, Leo, you may begin to have a lot of negative thoughts around the relationship. And I don't mean in terms of red flags, right? We want to keep our eyes open to red flags. And this is a general reading. Some of you may not be dealing with a high vibrational person, and you may be dealing with someone with red flags. I'm not telling you to close your eyes and dismiss red flags. I'm speaking to those who are dealing with a higher vibrational person, and who are in a high vibration right now, also aligning with a high vibrational person. You know negative ego, because negative ego will be like, you're not good enough. You're just, kidding yourself. This is never going to work. It's never going to work out. uh Whatever it might be, like the fears and the insecurities come up, and we start feeling a really low self-esteem. We start feeling really bad about ourselves. That's the negative ego trying to keep you from letting this person in. Okay. And so what you need to do is be aware of the negative ego, and be ahead of it, right? Outsmart it. Maybe there's things that you can take and use to your benefit. Oh, okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll work on that aspect of myself, or maybe I'll take precautions to avoid this kind of a situation from happening. Like, whatever the negative ego is trying to scare you with, you can see it as an opportunity to be better prepared. But overall, you want to remind yourself, right, that you are worthy of love, you're deserving of love, that, it's safe for you to love, it's safe for you to open up to love. You can ask Archangel Jophiel to help you to love yourself and see yourself the way that heaven loves you and sees you, and to help you love others and see others as heaven sees them and loves them. You can ask Archangel Michael to help remove fear from your heart, because I feel like this is a very positive partnership. And some of you are dealing with negative ego trying to come in and freak you out, or scare you, or convince you to sabotage yourself, or to push this person away. Now, your next card here is the Queen of Swords. And this could be an air sign person, a Libra, Aquarius, or a Gemini. If you have air sign placements, there could be aspects of those areas of your life that might be opening doors to meeting new people. Or, it might be aspects that you're working on with your partner. But with the Queen of Swords, this is also a card having to do with boundaries. It's but also time management. So for some of you, the biggest thing that negative ego might be throwing at you is that you don't have time for this. You don't have time for this. You have things to work on. You have to work on yourself. You have to work on these goals. You can't trust these people to come in and care, or to try to help you. You're busy. You have busy things to do. Love is foolishness. Love is silly. Love is to be put on the back burner. So some of you, the negative ego is in terms of timing. Like, it's like you don't have time for this. You don't have, but yet this could be someone that, with the right communication, could be a wonderful partner, not just romantically, but in terms of the things you're working towards in your life, and the things that you have as far as goals, right? Like the old saying goes, two heads are better than one. Like, this could be a wonderful, wonderful partnership. And negative ego is saying, you don't have time for this. You got to do it alone. Forget these people. Forget this is nonsense. This is stupid. This is a waste of time. So I feel for a lot of you, that's going to be the biggest thing that negative ego is throwing at you. And there may also be some good old-fashioned self-esteem stuff negative ego throws at you, because negative ego loves to do that, right? But there might be a lot here in terms of timing, not trusting, being quick to cut people off. And so this is something that you're going to have to overcome. As I said, you can do the affirmations with Jophiel, with Michael, in helping to overcome that thought process. Queen of Swords could also be that some of you Leos have really had to harden your heart You know, I know Leos love big and they love hard. I know that they're very, very generous. And so that, unfortunately, for Leo can open you all up to a world of hurt. Because when we're givers, we attract takers, right? And so some of you may have just really, really had experiences where you've been so taken advantage of that even if you're dating, even if you're out there having relationships, your heart is very guarded. You're very cautious. And so for some of you, this Queen of Swords is going to be having to remind yourself that you're safe now. Because you may have this partner and you may let this person into your life, but you may not be letting them into your heart. And so with this Queen of Swords energy, it's like some of you are having to learn to put the sword down. Put the sword down. This is not an enemy, right? This is not an enemy. You can let this person into your heart. You can let your heart soften. For some of you, that's the vibe I'm feeling here around the Queen of Swords. You may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign, your Venus sign. Sometimes your other placements might resonate more than whatever this placement may be for you. You may want to get a private reading with me. If so, there's a link in the description of this video that will take you to calendly.com/amethystangelite, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. Don't forget to check out the weekly forecasts where I talk about everything other than love, whatever comes up, and then the daily message, the card of the day. The card of the day could be anything. Sometimes it's around love, sometimes it's around something else. We just let Spirit tell us what Spirit needs to tell us for that day. So hopefully you guys can check that out as well. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I hope you all have a fabulous July. Those of you who have birthdays in July, I hope you have a wonderful birthday. And hopefully we'll see you all in the weeklies and daily messages. Take care and be well, my darlings.